Hi again, or if you're new to watching my channel, hello. Um, so anyway, I couldn't decide what to make this video about. I wanted to make a video this week before we get into the craziness of Christmas, although as you can see, some of the craziness has started. But I had lots of different things I kind of wanted to talk about, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to talk about. So I have decided to just stick to two topics that are sort of very relevant to me at the moment. One keeps coming up time and time again in conversation, and another one sort of my own inner workings, and is something I'm having to sort of deal with this week. So the first one I'm going to talk about is that this is the one that's the inner workings. I've talked a little bit about this in the past. I had that quite disturbing previous relationship that wasn't healthy, wasn't good, and the other person in the relationship was an alcoholic. I don't know if I've mentioned that aspect before, but he was an alcoholic, and it made what was already quite a difficult dynamic much worse, and resulted in me giving up drinking altogether. Bear in mind this is 10 years ago now, so it's 10 years teetotal. I don't like the smell of alcohol. I was never a big fan of it anyway. I was never a big drinker by any means, but yeah, I now can't stand the smell of alcohol. I hate smelling it on my husband. He has been so kind and supportive in this, and he actually, for his own reasons, doesn't drink as much now as he did in his early 20s. But, you know, obviously that's helped me a great deal. And when he does drink, he takes quite a lot of care to make sure that he brushes his teeth afterwards. If he's been drinking a lot, like if he's been out with his mates and stuff, he comes back, he'll have a shower before he gets into bed most often. So he's very, very sensitive to it. And I've tried to work very hard to not let my own issues with it prevent him from being able to carry on the life that he wants to live and drink whatever alcohol he wants to drink or whatever. But it does make me uncomfortable, and I don't like being in situations where there is a lot of drinking going on, particularly if it's with people that I don't know or I don't trust, or if I feel there's any kind of tension in the room. Whenever alcohol is added to that feeling of tension, I get so uncomfortable, and I either want to leave or cry or both. Well, this coming weekend, we will be going to a birthday party, which I'm sure we'll have a good time at. I get on with a lot of the people there, and I am looking forward to seeing them. It's been a little while since we've seen them, so that's going to be really good. But it's a birthday party. There's going to be drinking, and there's probably going to be a fair amount of drinking, and there'll be a lot of people there who I don't know. It's a family situation, so as with all families, there's a bit of tension. So there probably could be the potential for conversations. The Americans have just had Thanksgiving, and everyone's been joking about, like, talking about politics over the Thanksgiving table. Well, I'm going to have that at a birthday party this weekend. So I'm nervous about that. It just makes me uneasy, and it's not like I'm actually expecting anything bad to happen. I don't think these people do behave badly. It's just that I don't trust the alcohol, which sounds really weird, but I just think that, like, alcohol has this ability to help you lose your inhibitions, but that also means that it loosens the tongue, it loosens the behavior and the rules, and being who I am with the history that I've got, rules are important to me, and feeling in control is important to me, and feeling safe and not having any sense of vulnerability is really important. And I know that that's going to be gone on Saturday night. And so, I've known about this party for a while, but I would say over the last couple of days, it's really started to amp up in my level of anxiety. I'm not even going to be able to, like, distract myself with the kids or anything like that because they're not invited. So it's going to be a situation where I am going to be without protection, as if my children are some kind of barrier to anything. But yeah, I'm concerned about it, and there's nothing maybe I can do about it. I've just got to go and deal with it the best I can. But kind of wanted to talk about it. I wanted to get it out of my head a little bit. And I don't know, maybe if anyone watches this, they can offer some advice, because it would be great to have some advice. Now, the second thing is the thing that's been coming up time and time and again in conversation recently, and it's the concept of being kind. I don't know when it stopped being the norm to be kind, because it seems at the moment there's a lot of people who aren't kind, and where it's actually celebrated. So someone having a great comeback, or someone having a brilliant takedown, or I don't know, just people coming at situations from a negative point of view is being celebrated more and more as, oh, they're sassy, or they're feisty, or they're witty. And now, I love a good sarcastic comment. I think that, having a bit of a play and a bit of a tease is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it seems to be very much in our culture at the moment to tear people down and to point out the flaws, point out the mistakes before we look at the positives. As an example, in my local area, there is a Facebook group for the local area, and there's some money being spent by the council on the area. Now, given the climate that we live in, the economic climate we live in, given the kind of area that we live in, which is a relatively poor area, for the fact that the council would spend any money or any time on this area is a miracle. And whether you like what they've decided to do, whether you're happy with the way that they're doing it, the point is that they're doing it, and thank God. How great is it that some investment is being put into the area, and who knows what that investment may then result in. More businesses come to the area, more families being attracted to the area. Like, that would be amazing, and it's what this area desperately needs. It has the potential to be a wonderful community, or even more wonderful than it currently is, and I don't see how investment can be bad if it's about improving the infrastructure and making it a nicer place to be. And I don't know, all I see on the local forums is just whinging about the amount of noise that the trucks are making, or the amount of disruption to the roads it's causing. It's causing disruption for a week. Then it will be done, and then we'll be able to continue with our lives. It's just sort of this very negative attitude that everyone feels. Now, I'm not saying the world is perfect. I'm not saying that anything is perfect. It's impossible for anything to be perfect. But it's not all awful either. Now, I try to remind myself that most people mean well. Most people come from a good place, and they come from a place of trying to do the right thing. And I genuinely believe that. I don't think there are a huge amount of people out there who are trying to do the wrong thing or trying to cause trouble. And I think if they are doing that, there's probably a bigger reason behind it that we as a society need to look at. So my response to most people is to be kind to them and to listen to them and to not just ignore them or take them down or tell them that they're wrong or undermine them. That's not how I treat people, or at least not how I try to treat people. God knows, like I said, I'm not perfect, and I'm sure I've made mistakes, but I try to come at every situation from a point of kindness. Like, they probably could very well know a lot more than I do, and I need to listen to them. They've had different life experiences to me, and it's important to listen. And I just feel like there's a great lack of kindness at the moment in how we interact with each other, and the way that we're shown how to interact with each other via the media, TV shows, films, the newspapers. God knows they're not kind. Even our politicians aren't treating each other with kindness and respect. You can disagree with someone and still be nice. You can disagree with someone and still respect them. And it's interesting, I've been watching I'm a Celebrity. It's one of the main reality shows that I watch, and I really enjoy it. And the best part for me, because I am terrified of spiders and don't enjoy watching those bits at all, the best part for me is watching the celebrities interact with one another, the way that they talk to one another, the way that they respect one another. And this year is no different. There are people in there who have a great number of differences in their socioeconomic class, in their political beliefs, their religious beliefs probably, although that conversation hasn't come up yet. But they're treating each other with respect. They're understanding that it's okay to think differently and to feel differently to one another, but you can still look after one another and care about each other. I think we've lost a lot of that. I think in this divisive world we're living in right now, where everything is black and white, we've lost the grey area of kindness, and I feel that's a real shame. And the one thing I try and teach my kids is to be kind and is to think about other people besides themselves. And we've started doing some charity work because I think it's important that my kids understand that there are people out there who have far less than them, and that if we can spare some time or spare some money or spare some things, then we should. We should try and help people. And don't look down on them in the process. God, no. There's no way we're better than them, not by any means. We're exactly the same. It's just our circumstances have been different or are different. But as people, we're exactly the same. I don't know, I think I've been feeling a little bit down over the last week. And I kind of need to believe that kindness can be rewarded again, and that the kindness and the love and the respect that we can have for our fellow human beings can be the thing that is respected again. I don't want to hear another song dissing somebody or watch another program about young people actually being really nasty to one another. It's not the world I want my kids to grow up in. It's not the world that I recognize from my growing up. It just seems to me that if, as adults, we can model that idea of respecting other people, then our children will follow suit, and maybe the future could be better than what it is right now. I don't know, let me know what you think. This is just me whittering on now. Alright, well, the next time you see me, I'm going to be in full Christmas mode with trees going up, and if I can bring myself to do it, I'm going to have a go at doing Vlogmas. I don't know if anyone's going to watch. It would be great if someone did, but otherwise I'm just going to do it because I love Christmas and I really want to enjoy it even more this year. Okay, alright, well, talk to you soon. Bye.